This is my very, very controversial Black Dahlia 2 tutorial. All I used to do my original Black Dahlia look was tissue that I had just ripped up and a cucumber peel off face mask. That's all I used to do that look, to apply the cut mouth. I discovered this magic little guy. It's collodion, or as some people call it, rigid collodion. This stuff, I love it. That's what I've used to create this new Black Dahlia makeup that I have done for you. So I thought I would give it a shot with the collodion. My mouth is completely deformed by this stuff. Zooming in the black and white won't really do much, but I'll probably flick to colour pretty soon to give you an idea of what it looks like. But that's it in black and white. It's pretty disturbing in colour. This is what the makeup looks like in colour or finished. I will zoom in on the mouth. Oh. Anyway guys, please keep watching and I hope you enjoy my tutorial. I already have my foundation on still. All I've done is remove this area away so that I can apply the collodion to clean, dry skin. With the collodion, although I'm putting it around my mouth, you have to be very careful not to put it too close or really into your mouth because it is harmful if swallowed, so just be very, very careful with it. So to apply, I'm just using a art brush. Don't use a good brush because this stuff will get into your brush and really wreck it if you don't clean it right away. So this is just a cheap brush I got from an art shop, and I've decanted the collodion into a little glass. This stuff will dry fairly fast, so you have to work quick. To get a really good effect, it works to stretch the skin, so when you let it go, it really pulls the skin back. So just apply it around your mouth very carefully and slowly building it on top, which will create more depth. Okay, now this might be shocking to some of you, but I will zoom in and I'll show you what the collodion has done. It's completely disfigured my mouth how I've applied it. So I'll zoom in and I'll show you. I look like I've had some pretty gruesome plastic surgery done. Look at that. That's what it's done to my mouth. It's not something that I would have on to this extent for a very long time. It would be very, very cool, but I'd probably apply a little bit less and use more shading and highlighting to get this depth effect. But for gross quality and this is pretty cool. I'm never gonna go and get a plastic surgery or Botox. It's not attractive. When you take collodion off, you have to use nail polish remover or acetone to remove it. To go on and apply a little bit of foundation just around the area, and then you can use your finger just to blend in over them. Next we're going to add the colour to this gross scarring around my face. So to add the colouring to the scar, I'm just using a fluffy brush like this. It's just a cheap one as well. And I'm just going to start with a light colour, just adding the colouring to the scar. So using a light colour, then you can fill it in and see where you're going with the makeup. And also, if you go too far with the dark colour, it's really hard to remove it. So it's best to start off light. Now that I've added a little bit of the colour, it's time to go in with the darker colours and really build up the depth of that scarring. So guys, I've just sort of continued off camera for a bit with the colouring of it. I've done this side and I'm pretty happy with it. It looks very, very gruesome and old, dried. And I'm just going back over this side. I did sort of dull it down a little bit just with a sponge, but since I've done this side I'm going to go back in and just add a little bit more depth and detail. I am using a little bit of a black grease paint mixed with the dark red. Where the collodion comes around, really darken that area up just with a fine brush. And you can probably get some detail in around these ones to make them look really deep. Again, it all goes on how you apply the collodion to get these effects. Now I'm going to set it with some translucent powder. So just keep adding the little runes, as many as you really want. It's entirely up to you. And I'm just using the really dark red and then a little bit of the black just around the edge to create like the idea of depth around it so that they do look sort of deep. Again, I'm just going to set those little spots, some translucent powder. Now I'm going to add some bruising effects around the face, just like post-mortem bruising, so to speak. Now I'm going to just add some down my neck. Now I'm actually going to set the bruising all over my face with my actual pressed powder. This will give the illusion that the bruising is actually sitting underneath the skin. It's not makeup on top of the skin. Now I'm going to take a bigger fluffy brush and just add a little bit of grey and brown alternating between the two colours, just to add a little bit more depth here and there around my face, but not too much. Make sure that the eyeshadows that you do use, that they are matte, because anything with a shimmer will take away from this effect. Now lastly with this look, I'm just going to add a little bit of the Myprettyflesh scab blood. Looks like that. Just adds that sort of gore factor to the look without using too much blood and taking away from everything. It's just another detail in the overall look. Just use some of the black and I'm going to just rub that on the inside of my mouth. It's just a black grease paint. I'm just shaking up some Ben Nye black tooth colour. You want to apply this just to the edges. That's the look complete. I know my haters are going to hate epically on this makeup, but I don't really give a That's what I think about you guys. Those of you that have wanted a tutorial of this for such a long time, then thank you for wanting it for so long. I have finally done it, and I hope you aren't disappointed that it's not the one in the previous video of mine, and that you are happy with this one. I will see you all again very soon in my next tutorial, and I hope you have enjoyed this one. Night night kitties.